We've invited ourselves to a fantastic venue, but it's for a great day. Now, phrase that stage for today is changing lives, transforming communities. Doesn't have to rhyme all the time. Doesn't have to rhyme all the time. Changing lives, transforming communities. That's what today's all about. When you woke up this morning, did you think, today I'm going to be changing lives, transforming communities? I don't know if you did, Matthew, when you woke up.
Done.
Or you woke up 10 minutes ago, John Mabel. But today, it's all about changing lives, transforming communities, because that's the Sports Friends slogan. Changing lives, transforming communities. Sports Friends, you can read it in the programme. I thoroughly recommend reading it. We work in 17 countries. That's the organisation I work for. Red Rainbow. And we train coaches across the world, in South America, Africa and Asia. Train 10,000 coaches, and every week they coach over 250,000 young people. 250,000 young people are like this, with a coach, trained in some of the poorest areas, in some of the most unreached areas in Africa, Asia and South America. And that's what today's all about. Support this organisation that changed lives, transformed communities. Sherwood FC, they support 5 teams over in Malawi, the team that I used to coach for 3 years. Alright, it's amazing. And all the profits from today are going to go towards that organisation that changed lives and transformed communities. Alright? Now, famous quote, Billy Graham, anyone heard of him? Famous evangelist. He said, the average coach will impact a young person more than an average human being will in a lifetime. That's because when you're a teacher or a coach, you have immense power of what you speak into their lives. And what Sports Friends do is, we train and equip coaches to go into villages and then transform communities. And I've seen that with my own eyes, and it's been incredible. Changing lives, Anyway, I want to tell you a story about, I've obviously met hundreds of coaches when I've been overseas. One coach I want to tell you about is a guy called Nazi, alright? Nazi came to a training 4 years ago, that was that, and he rocked up on a motorbike, right? He was a real personality. He was like the John Dillnut of this area, right? Anyway, 4 years on, okay, this guy, Nazi, he goes to set up a team in a community, and he wasn't the best coach, I'm not going to lie. He wasn't the best coach, but he had an amazing heart, alright? He started a team, and he was in a really, really tough area. And he started playing games against other villages, and he went to one local village, and it was a really rough affair. This was like, it kicked off. More than it does, when we're playing a team in Derby Church League. This time it escalated so far that he had to send his own players back to their home village, because he didn't think it was safe. Nazi stayed as the coach. The players walked back a couple of miles to the village. Nazi stayed and actually got beaten up by the coach and their team. Really badly beaten up, and he walked back to his village, limped back, and he actually had to get picked up because he couldn't actually walk back because he got beat up that bad. Now, Nazi, being the character that he was, he continued coaching the team. But when word got out, the village headman of that village actually called him and said, Nazi, I want to have a word with you and say what actually happened. So Nazi went over to this really rough village to speak to the village headman, which is always that big thing in African culture, the village chief, he's got all the power. And the village headman said, why, Nazi, did you not fight back? Why did you and your team not fight back? You got beaten up, you knew you were going to get beaten, you were hopelessly outnumbered, you sent your lads back, why did you not get beaten up? And Nazi said this, he said, you know what, I've got a friend who teaches me how I should live my life. Nazi said that my friend is the best example of how I live my life. My friend came to Earth, he left a very comfortable place, and he came to a very difficult place. And my friend, when he grew up, he did some amazing things in his life. He did miracles, he healed lots of people, he helped lots of people, he told people about their purpose, about who they are. And when he was over 30 years old, his friend himself got beaten up. He was beaten up, he was whipped, he was mocked, he actually had a crown of thorns crushed on his head. And what happened was, his friend, on a tree, got nailed to a tree and died. And Nazi said to the village headman, my friend, actually, I know that he rose from the dead, and he said, my friend conquered death, and he gives me an example of how I live my life. He didn't just say that was the example, he said that my friend who did that for me, he died for the wrong things that I've done, so I can have a relationship made right with God. And now I can live my life with this purpose, so I don't have to retaliate when things like that happen. And obviously, you might have guessed it, but Nazi's friend was Jesus, and he said he has a relationship with him. And that was an amazing story for me to say, wow, there's something way bigger going on than just coaching coaches. Yes. And that was an amazing testimony to that village. And you know what happened after that? That village headman asked him to coach other coaches in that area, and eventually Nazi ended up coaching the team that beat him up. the lads who were some of the roughest lads in that area, Nazi ended up coaching that team that beat him up because of that example that he follows. Now, a lot of us in this room follow that same guy, the Lord Jesus, who has changed our lives and transforms communities. Now, the reason I can say that we're changing lives and transforming communities is I know that it's God who's behind all of this. And He's the one who changes lives and transforms communities. And there's so many in this room. The reason why in Synnex FC we talk about this is because, honestly, we've been changed, our lives have been changed, and we've seen communities transformed by God. And that's what's underneath today, and that's what's underneath our team. Now today, Synnex FC, if you don't know what Synnex FC is all about, new player here, alright? It's not just about one hero, it's not just about Matthew Artist.
Oh, right? Come on!
In the West, we have heroes which are solo rangers, Superman, Spider-Man. This team is formed upon every single individual who's a hero. Today, you literally are being a hero. If you want to, there's a page online which I've set up where you can give some money to Sports Friends International. The last thing I want to say, honestly, from me, is thank you so much for coming today. Thank you for being part of Synnex FC. Thank you to those who've stepped up and done all the roles in this team, because I've seen you do that. Honestly, thank you so much. But from villages in Malawi in Africa, in one of the poorest countries in the world, coaches have asked me to thank you for what you're doing, for the money that you've given. People online are 400 online fans. All right? But all these people are going to give, honestly, these coaches over there have told me to say thank you. They're not here today, they're thousands of miles away. Thank you. Some of them don't have any strips, nothing. They literally have nothing, and you guys are giving some money which is going to go way further than you could ever possibly imagine. So phrase that stays, changing lives, transforming communities, enjoy the game today, and let's have a good one. Thank you guys!